Okay, so we are going to do a deal walkthrough on the distribution company that contacted me today. So this is how we did the valuation on this. I asked the guy what his asking price was. He said he wanted $25,000 for his company. I asked him how much he made a year. He said the rough estimate was 75,000. But then he started doing a breakdown. Okay, now this is kind of funny when we get to talking about it because I asked him how many locations he served or serviced, and roughly the amount that he made each time, and then his percentage of profit. Based on that, okay, I'm going to show you what happened. He said that he makes or that he has somewhere between 15 and 25 locations. So let's go at the minimum. Let's say it's 15. He said he usually makes anywhere from 200 to $350 per location. So let's look at it at 200, his lowest amount. So it's his lowest amount of stores at his lowest amount that he makes, and that's $3,000. Okay, a month. All right. So if that's $3,000 a month, let's do times 12. Okay, because that's 12 months. We're looking at $36,000 a year. Now, out of that $36,000, that's totally different than 75. That's totally different than $75,000 revenue. So he might be fibbing on that. Okay. Uh, Either way, he said it's about a 30 to 50% profit margin. Look, we're going to put it at 30 because that's what I believe we're probably at. So let's check out and see what that would be. All right. 30% of 36,000, you're looking at $10,800. So let's put that in your cash flow because that's actually what he's saying he's putting in his pocket is $10,800. So let's do that. Let's see what we get from that. Well, they didn't enter it. Hang on now. I'm on the wrong screen. All right. $10,800. That is a 2.31 multiplier, which is not super high. I mean, people want a 2 to 3 times multiplier on their cash flow. According to the asking, that's not unheard of. To tell you the truth. So let's look on down. Now we never want to give market value first of all, because if we do that, we're not really making any money, right? We're just kind of breaking even. Now, our deal is to get a deal. Now, also, we have to look at that multiplier. That multiplier is saying that that's only if these numbers are good. If those numbers aren't good, man, that multiplier is not very good either. So at 10,800, let's say that actual after we do due diligence and it is that number, okay, look, we're going to try to get a deal. We're not going to do 2.31, but let's offer 2 and let's see what happens with that. Now, as we come down, let me see, let me scroll down and look at the deal. You're looking at a 2.31 multiplier, and there's no financing going to be available on this, guys. There's no way that anything is going to happen here because the bank's not going to loan you anything on this company. There's no paperwork on it. There's nothing actually showing the financials. So it's really going to be up to our due diligence to see if that's even true. So we're going to play over here in our offer. We're not even going to look at what the possibilities would be if we tried to go to a bank route. Let's go down our offer. If the actual cash flow is $10,800, let's do a 2 times multiplier, which takes us to 21,600. That's what we should offer. For full ownership, we should offer $21,600. So how are we going to go about getting that? Well, let's see. Where does that $21,600 come from? Well, we're going to ask them to sell or finance it because of the fact that we can't go to a bank and we can't trust any financials that are not there. So, really, the only way we can even secure the fact that what he's telling us is true is if he's backing it. Now, if he wants to back it, we're going to try this route. Now, we can go with a down payment, just like I said. Okay. This is the first route that I want to discuss. With a zero down, seller financing, that means that he's financing $21,600. That means that we would need to make an annual payment of $7,200 to him or a monthly payment of $600. Now, our cash flow at that point, now there again, this is saying that all of the due diligence pans out and what he's saying is correct, we will still have a positive cash flow of $900. That's on top of paying him off. Now, this debt is only on 3 years. Let's take a look and see what I did over here. Well, where is it? That's seller financing at 21.6. Let me see where we have that. right here. All right, under our seller finance debt calculator, we've got 21,600 as our primary loan, and there's a 0% interest on it, but we are going to get a 36-month term, right? So you're looking at 3 years to pay off 2 years worth of income to him. That's still a great deal. He's not having to do anything. He's getting paid 2 full years worth of income just to walk away and go home, right? We're going to pay him for the next 2 years. We're going to give him $600. Now, the beautiful part about that is after that 3 years is over, that's our money. That's our money. That's $21,000 right there. That's ours. We don't pay any more. It's over with. Now, everything is profit, right? That's where we're looking at financing on that. So what do we do about this 21,000? How much are we going to have to come up with? What is it going to take to get it? What are we going to do? That's seller financing. That's 100%. That's how we can get into it today. So that's how I plan on operating that. I want to operate it on a 100% seller finance deal. Now, what does that mean for us financially? Look, you're looking at a cap rate of 50, guys. That is fantastic. Fantastic. You've put zero money down on this deal. There's zero money down on this deal, guys, which means that it's infinite returns. Your cash on cash return is infinite. Now, your cap rate, your discretionary earning rate is 1.5. So even at this kind of deal, it would have been financed. You could have got that financed. SBA requires a 1.25 to get financed. So anything over a 1.25, you can get financed for. Now, the difference in that, look, you're saving $3,600 doing it like that annually. That's annual cash over cash return. Let's see, annual cash flow after all debt. After all debt's said and done with, if we go seller financed, we make $3,600. That's what that is. That's after all the debt's paid for. That's the profit in that $75,000. Now, or it's not in the $75,000, but in that $10,800 discretionary earning, because I don't believe that $75,000 is real. Now, here's the beauty about it. If it is real, then we actually get $75,000 instead, and these numbers change. Now, let's come over here and look at that. He said 15 to 25 stores. So let's look at 15 to 25 stores. What's the math on that? We looked at 15. Now let's see what the other side looks like, right? 25 times 200, which is his minimum, equals, get off of that, $5,000 times 12, $60,000 times 30%, right? That's what we're trying to do, 30% of that. So you're looking at $18,000. Now let's plug $18,000 in instead, right? Let's see where this comes to, which, by the way, 60,000 is a lot closer to 75. So maybe he has, 20, 25 stores, and he does do this business. So why don't we just look at this number? Let's say that's more realistic to what he does. I know it's a lot closer than that's closer to what I would expect for a guy like that. It's hard to believe that somebody would be living off $10,000 a year. So anyway, 18,000, I could see an older couple maybe possibly living off of that in a retirement, maybe a veteran's pay or something. Okay, so if that's the deal, we should offer 36,000 at a 2 times multiple. Now here's the deal: if we were going to pay cash, we'd only pay 1x. I'll tell you right now, we would only pay 1x. That's all I would be giving him, is what he makes in a year. That's all. And I'd give it to him right then, and he'd walk away and leave. If we do it this route, it gives us a much larger cash on cash return. We're looking at $36,000 on it. If the actual is 18,000, let's see. Then we're looking at financing 36,000. That means, now look, the monthly business cash flow is $15,000 or $1,500. That's what we're looking at. That means you got a company P&L of $1,500 at the moment. That's what you got coming in, $1,500. Now, if we have to finance that 36,000 and we're going to have to make 36 payments, that means we're making $1,000 payments to him every month. That means we end up with a positive $500 a month just from that route. Now, that's not a whole lot. What's $500 a month? Well, it's only $500 a month until we get him paid off, and then it's $1,500 a month, and then you're tripling the money, right? That's a good deal. So what are we looking at on that? Seller finance, we got $6,000 of extra income a year, right? That means that I'd be splitting $3,000 with you guys. Doesn't sound too great. All right, now let's look at the beauty of the real deal on this. What we're actually doing is growing a company that's already making 300 and some odd $1,000 a year. So this number that we're looking at making, this little old $18,000 cash flow, is not real. That's not realistic. It will definitely be making much more than that, just because we're adding it to our route. So the growth potential of that, we're probably going to grow at 50 to 60%. 50 to 60% easily, just because we're now with a new supplier that has products at a price that is competitive, right? And we already have an entrance into the market with up to 25 stores in the area. So 25 locations is pretty darn good for a route like that for an old guy that's running it. I just think that he's not maximizing his potential. So that's what we're looking at, guys. We're looking at, I mean, that's kind of the turnaround right as of now is what it's looking like for us. So if there's any questions on that, you guys want to know more about it. Now, like I said, we didn't go to the bank, so I didn't fill any of that out. That's why these numbers are all looking crazy. But there's like 0 cash return because we didn't put those numbers in. So that's what we're looking at, folks, is making right at a $500 profit. Now, this is if we didn't do anything else other than stay with just the stores that he owns. Okay. And that's all we did. We'd still be bringing in an extra $500 a month. Right. Not so horrible. Extra $500 a month is not bad. Extra $1,500 a month is not bad after 36 months, right? That's somebody's income out there. That's somebody's income, and that's what's being split all the way. Every quarter, we'll be splitting 50% of the profits on that deal. So, you'll be getting that right back to your account. If you want to buy a higher amount of membership, all you do is grab some more tokens. That allows us to do bigger deals in the future, and all of these things compound. So, that's the beauty of these types of projects. You now know what's going on with this business valuation, how it works, and how I go about valuing a company that has zero financials. And all I've done is talk to the owner. That's exactly how it works. Now, the next stage of this process, in case you're wondering, is I would request his financials, right? And give him a letter of intent saying, okay, based on this, if we can come to terms on this, I'll give you a letter of intent, and I'm going to need to see your financials to make sure that they match up with what you're saying. He doesn't have financials. So between us, what I'll have to do is talk to him about a 30 to 90 day due diligence process to where I actually shadow him for much of that time and monitor the actual wages and track them myself, right? I'm going to see how much inventory is going out a day, how much is coming in, how many miles he's actually tracking to do this. This is over a 300-mile span to do 25 stores. That's horrible. I got 25 stores within a 5-mile area. Okay, so there are little things like that that have to be tweaked, thought about, and learned over that due diligence period, and that all affects this price here. The price that we're willing to offer, the price that we're willing to pay, and the terms that we negotiate to make it happen. So now keep in mind, that's seller financed at 100%. What if we went over here and put 10% down? We put 10% down, that's only $3,600, and we can own this company, guys. We can own this company, $3,600 to get rocking and rolling. And then we would have, let's see, what happened to all my, I don't know what happened to all my financing. Oh, yeah, so we got $1,000. We're still looking at a $500 payment, but that changes everything else. That changes our cash on cash return to 167%. So now we're dealing with 167%. Now you've got money down. You're not making any more. You're still going to do the same thing. It's still the same 6,000. You're still making the same 6,000 after cash return, right? But that's 167,000 or 167% growth on the cash that you actually invested, which was only $3,600 to get that. So there you go, guys. This is a positive deal. Whether it was a money down deal or not, it is a positive deal. And knowing that the growth opportunity is there, because it's nothing more than a roll up and an expansion to an existing business, I say this is a go. I say this is a go. Now, I don't think I'm going to be offering this. I think we're going to be offering a lot closer to that other route. Now, that 10,800, that is Now let me explain. That's why I mentioned the 10,000 or the 1,200, because that's basically what it's going to cost after closing costs and everything else. If this was 10,800, okay, and I wanted to do a single multiple, okay, that means that we need to come up with $10,800 to just completely buy them out, right? Now I'm not going to do that. I'm going to structure a different payment. This is the plan that I would be structuring with you guys. If you're able to hit this payment, which is the agreement that we made with the man in the first place, right? If you guys can do that, then you guys are subject to 50% of the profits that come from this annually. So, or well, quarterly, excuse me. You're going to get a quarterly distribution of 50% of the profits, and it's of the combined business. It's not of this single deal. This is like the smallest amount. It would be compounded much on top of this. So thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been informative. I hope you now understand a little bit closer about how I go about valuing these things and how we figure these things out. This company had no real estate. It had no fixtures, furniture, equipment. It didn't really have any of those types of things, and it was a cash business. So it was impossible to use these other types of multiples and add backs and things like that. It's just not possible. So when we deal with it strictly on a financial basis, based on what we're told by the seller, this is what we can kind of come up with is an offer similar to this here. It's going to be some sort of seller financing. We're going to walk away happy. We're going to be drawing positive income. He'll be drawing positive income, and we'll both know that no one's lying to each other because there was that 30 to 90 day period of due diligence where we actually did go and put in the work to know whether or not those financials are correct. So thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you on the next go round. This has been Christopher C. Day with the Acquisitions Academy.